Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Stephanie. We're in my sewing room. I have a wonderful pattern review for you today. I'm excited to share this pattern because I'm really loving it. It's so cute, it fits great, and it's super comfy. And it was easy to make. Super easy. So let's just jump right in, shall we? So this pattern is called To Become One. It's kind of called that, I think, because it looks like a top and a skirt, but it's really a dress. And it's made by So Easy. This pattern is free. You just download it on her website and it's free to you. So it doesn't cost a penny. I think that is super nice. So thank you so much, So Easy. This is not my first pattern from So Easy. I have the Fit and Flare and it's another favorite. So I really love this designer. She just does some really dresses that I just really like. And I have a couple of others on her website that I've got my eye on. So I printed this at home and the size that matched my measurements was her largest size. And I did end up taking it in. But I'd rather have something too big that I can take in than something too small because that's hard to fix. So once I cut it out, I knew I was going to want to alter this pattern. So I used extra Scotch tape and I taped the whole thing. So it's a nice flat piece of paper. Very sturdy. I noticed on my first experience with So Easy that her neckline was lower than I liked. So I didn't even chance it. I didn't even wait to make my test dress. I raised this neckline up right here. It looks like 1.5 inches, maybe even 2 inches. And after fitting, I actually made it. Can you even see that? So here's the neckline that she has right from here would be my cutting line. I already added an extra 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. And so I made my neckline higher right here. So it would have been down here. And that still would have been fine. I just like it up higher. I'm just more comfy with that. So I didn't even chance it. Everything else I cut out as is. And I made a test garment. I almost always think my first garment is the test. And I'm going to make all my adjustments and alterations to that dress. And it'll be a great dress when I'm done. But then every time I change my dress, I change my pattern. And then my pattern becomes perfected for my size. So the whole idea is just to customize it to fit you, fit your body. And that's what this video is to show you. It's not a sew along. I'm not going to sew this along with you. It's a super simple dress. It's more about just fixing my fit issues, which I love to share because that's one of my favorite things to do. It's just to get it just right for me. Before I walk you through my changes, why don't I show you my finished dresses? Just to get you a little bit like warmed up and ready to see, is this worth it? Yes. Here we go. Aren't they cute? I'm loving this dress. It's super flattering. And okay, let me check my notes. Okay, so first I'm going to show you my first dress, which my first try, which was a little bit big. And again, I'd rather have it a little too big than a little too small. So let me just show you what it looks like first go. Okay, this is my fit check. So I think my neckline will get tightened up a little bit with the neckband. But just to let you know, I raised this neckline this much before I even cut it out. So I'm so glad I did that, or it would be down here. It's still too big. So I probably would alter my pattern about 1 inch, probably front and back. Now, if it wasn't going to have a band, it's just too big. So it's not flattering. So perhaps if it was a little smaller, I think it might be better. So I think I'm going to take it in like 1 inch on both sides. It'll have the little band, but it's just too much. Or is it? Maybe I'll make the band and see how I like it before I take it in. Okay, so I put the band on it, and I feel like it's a little too low back here because it's just going to be riding up like right there, I think. I don't know if you're supposed to tack it down. I think you're only supposed to sew it on the sides. It's a cute dress, but I still feel like it's too big. See that? I don't think I don't think it's supposed to go like that. I think it is supposed to be, I don't know, it doesn't seem like a flared skirt to me. I think that is where your hips are supposed to be that I don't have. Maybe I'll just, you know, I feel like this is the problem right here. It just goes out too much right here, and maybe I should have it just go more straight right here, just a little. Because if it kept going and it was flared, it would be different. But it's coming straight down, so it's just going to stick out right here. I think I'm going to do that. It actually could be tighter all the way down. I think I'm going to take it in. See what happens. This fit check number 2. I took it in 1 inch all the way down, and I still have this little hip thing sticking out. Do you see it? It's right here, just the length of my hand. I think I'm going to have to smooth that down. It's just going to stick out even after I put the belt on. This needs to be straightened out right here. Just for my body type, I don't have the curve in my hips that this dress has. But otherwise, I think it fits better. I wish it fit better right here. I feel like I might even take it in right here, just a little bit on each side, because I don't want it to be too big. Otherwise, I think it fits pretty good. It'll be cuter with the belt. I think it could be a little shorter right there. I'm kind of thinking of taking that up. I think it's okay in the front. I just think it's too long in the back. Weird, huh? Okay, so here's the adjustments I have made. I took in just right here on both sides, and I think it's just way better. Now, realize it's bulky because it's just basted, so I have all this excess seam in here. I took this up by 1 inch, front and back, and I think it's way better on me than it was down here. That inch made all the difference. I took it in 1 inch here and 1 inch here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the dress completely apart and recut these pieces to my new size, change my pattern, and I think I'm going to have a super cute dress. So that's my plan. It's a little bit of work, but once I get this dress to fit, I'll be able to make multiple dresses that fit. And this, I will probably take up another inch right here. The back appears to be laying flat, so I'm not going to mess with it. I might take it in a little, but right here, I feel like this could come in 1 inch on my pattern piece. I can't do that on this dress because it's already cut. I don't think. Well, maybe I'll have to just relook at it. Once I have it all out, I could see what it would look like. All right, here we go. So this is my traced line. Obviously, it's not perfect, so I'll just true it up a little bit. But basically, I took out this little piece of the hip. So I'm gonna redraw that, and then that will be my new pattern for this. Okay, I took the whole dress apart, and I'm relaying it on the pattern pieces. I took this pattern piece in on this side, but when I lay it out, it's going to have me cut off here. So it's going to be smaller from here. So that's a little deceiving. Also, it's not going to line up perfectly right there. It's going to come close. So I'm not going to change the armhole at all. I'm really only going to trim it, my pattern piece right here. But when I recut this on a new piece, it'll be perfect. And the same's going to go for the back. I'm probably going to take off that little bit here and that little bit here, but not anything here. Not as much on the armhole, maybe just a little bit. So this is, I really only folded it under here by that much. So I took it in 1/2 inch. Do you remember I took it in 1/2 inch on the side? I decided to take it off here instead so that I would have a smaller neckline. Same here. I took it off about 1/2 inch. I didn't take anything off the side. I started to, but I retaped it back on. I'd rather have it smaller in my neckline. Now to the skirt. So basically it's a 1/2 inch at the waist and a little change in the curve here. So it's a little more here and a little less here to get rid of that little bit of hip. Remember that? So I'm going to trim that down, and then this one will be the same. So I'll just basically be recutting my pieces to match my new pattern that's been adjusted. I hope it fits. Okay, so I made a few changes, and I wanted to stop right here because I should have mentioned that when I took up the waist, I took it up 1 inch. So that was a 1/2 inch for the bodice and 1/2 inch from the skirt. And in the video, I only showed me taking the skirt up by 1/2 inch. I just folded under my bodice. That's the front and this is the back, and I just folded it under, and that was a 1/2 inch. I did the same thing right here because, as I said in my video, I didn't want it smaller here. I wanted it smaller right here so that this came in. So I took my 1/2 inch right here. And let's continue. Also noting I did not change the arm at all, the sleeve. So that's staying the same. Okay, so I've remade the dress with my adjustments, and I'm super happy with the fit. Now I just need to add the band, hem, and the dress is done. I love all 3 dresses. To be honest with you, I'm going to wear the heck out of these dresses. And one of my favorite things is that this dress and the second dress, the middle dress, the one with all the purple and blue, that is a scrap. This is a scrap from a Hoodie Hugs. Can you see it? Well, this is the green one. So this is a scrap from my Hoodie Hugs. I'm going to put a little plug in here in case you're new to my channel. I have a pattern called Hoodie Hugs, and it's super cute, and it's on Etsy, and I'll put a link in my description right below the link to this pattern. So once again, this pattern's great for scraps. Big pieces, of course, but sometimes I have a big piece left. And one of the things that's cool is, like, I'm the largest size, and on most of my scraps, if it's like a yard or a little bit less than a yard, my skirt front and back fit side by side. So I really only needed this much, whatever the skirt is. I only needed that much fabric. And then these fit side by side, so I only needed this much fabric. How I do a top side by side is I just have that piece of fabric that's about that big. Both of these need to go on the fold, so I just open the fabric up and fold it from both sides, and now I have a fold on each side. You probably already knew that. So if I really didn't have enough for the sleeve, I would make this sleeveless because it would be super cute sleeveless. And if I didn't have enough for the belt, I would make it out of the solid or another something else. It would be cute to start playing around with all the different options. The reason I picked this free pattern was for a challenge that was called Sew Frugal 23. And what our challenge was to find a free pattern, make it out of our stash, and post it on March 31st, which is past. And so if you haven't looked on Instagram, hit Sew Frugal 23 and you will see a whole bunch of makes. So many. It's going to take a while to look at them. But if you see something you like, click on it. That's a free pattern. You can download to your computer. You'll be overloaded with patterns, I promise you. Just had to get that in there. And I will put a link to this pattern and a link to my Hoodie Hugs in my description box. So on my pink and black one, I made a boo-boo. It was just like one of those, you know, just don't notice. And so I didn't even notice until I was like putting it on the mannequin to show my video. I had put, now this neckband has a seam, but you put the seam in the back. I put the seam in the front. So I had to decide, you know, what was I going to do with that? And I realized I just don't want that there. I hate something that's going to bug me. It's going to bug me to have that seam right in the front. No one would ever notice it but me, but I'm the one wearing it. So I've decided to take that neckband off and turn it around. And then I had this idea. What if I made it, that neckband, out of the colorful fabric? And I did. And so let me show you that because it's super cute. So now the possibilities are just everywhere. A different sleeve, a different neckband, a different waistband. This could be a totally color block dress. How fun would that be? How fun would that be? So I hope you enjoyed my review, and I hope you try this dress. It's super cute and it's free. If you're new to my channel, please hit subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And come back on Fridays. I'm here every Friday and we talk sewing and life and chatting and all the things, all the things. So I look forward to seeing you there. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this pattern review for To Become One by Sew So Easy. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.